years ago, right after I bought my Little Guy Max trailer, I did a video tour showing you my new camper, and you loved it. Well, this is a follow-up video because I'm going to share my Little Guy Max owner experiences that I've had over these past 3 years. Both the good and the bad. And because the Little Guy Max trailer is one of the most expensive small campers on the market, I'm also going to tell you if I think it was worth it. And if I'd buy it again, knowing what I know today. But first, if you're new here, I'm Randy, and every Thursday I help you make big memories in small campers. And say it with me, because weekends are just too short. For your reference, this is a 2018 Little Guy Max trailer with the Roughrider package. Okay, let's start with the good first. And let's start with talking about size. 99% of the time, my Little Guy Max camper is the smallest camper at every campground I visit. Because my Little Guy Max trailer is 21 feet, I can get into almost any camping spot. And I found some off the beaten path gems. Wait until you see one of the places I camped at coming up. I camped with my husband Tom and our dog Princess. Hi, Princey. And this camper has not been too small for us. There are two things that I really think make this small camper feel very spacious. And the first is the 6-foot 7-inch high ceilings. And second are the windows. There are windows on all 4 sides of this camper. And this really makes the camper feel bigger than it actually is. Talking about size, most small campers do not have a full queen size bed, but the Little Guy Max does. And this is something that I've really appreciated. The dinette area is a space that I wasn't sure we'd use a lot, but we actually do, so I'm really glad we've got it. It's got a wet bath, and there's only been a handful of times that we've used the shower in the past 3 years, but having a bathroom is something I wouldn't want to camp without. There's lots of storage. Having generous storage space has been really nice. In fact, I've never used all of the available indoor storage space. Now, if I could just come up with the perfect storage spot to store and keep our dirty shoes from when we come in from outside. And the outdoor storage space has been ample for all of our camping gear. I never felt like I wish this camper was bigger so that I could have more features, because this camper has everything I need for the weekends and the several extended long camping trips we take every year. And personally for me, the size of the Little Guy Max trailer has made towing, setting it up at the campsite, and backing it up easier. If you watch my channel, you know that I've been on a mission to learn how to and do all of this by myself. I know that if I had a larger RV, trying to do these things by myself would have been too intimidating for me, and I would have been too overwhelmed. Now I'm still working on my backing up skills, but each time I do it, it's getting a little easier. I do love the advantages a small camper has to offer. In fact, I did a full video highlighting all these benefits. And one of these is the ability to go places that a larger RV just wouldn't be able to go. Like the time I camped in my Little Guy Max on top of a mountain. We had no business towing any size camper up this Ozark mountain. But once we realized we're going up a mountain, it was too late because there was no place to turn around. With that said, the Little Guy Max sure got a workout. Which leads me to the next topic I want to talk about, and that's quality. We seriously thought that there'd be structural damage after this adventure, and things on our Little Guy Max would start falling apart, but it held up. The only damage that was done was to the windows. Do you see the scratches? This happened because the roads got really narrow at places, and the trailer would brush up against the trees and the branches as we drove by. I'm an obsessed camper, so I've done a lot of camping in this small camper, even winter camping, and the quality of the Little Guy Max trailer has really been impressive. Okay, next, let's talk about the things that have gone wrong, the things I've had to change and or replace in the past 3 years. Several window corners have fallen off. They're easy to put back on, but oddly, a couple have disappeared after they've fallen off. I just recently noticed that the vinyl countertop is starting to peel away inside of the kitchen sink. And while talking about the kitchen sink, there's been a sink odor that I need to figure out. When I lift the cutting board off the sink, there is a foul odor. I don't think it's coming from the gray tank, since the smell is only in the kitchen sink. I think it might have to do with the P-trap or a one-way valve. Anyways, I'm not real sure what's causing this odor. If you've got a solution or something for me to try to get rid of these odors, let me know. As far as inside wear and tear goes, the only other thing I've noticed on my little guy Max are a couple of tears in the flooring. They're small and not noticeable unless you get down to look for them. The cabinets and everything else in here is really solid and has held up really well. My favorite modification that I've ever made to my little guy Max was installing the FROLI Sleep System. I originally did this because there were times when the bedding along the wall got wet due to condensation. The mattress laid on a hardwood plank, so there wasn't any air ventilation to prevent mold from occurring, and this made me nervous. But the springs on the FROLI system added a breathable layer between the wood and the mattress, allowing air to flow, so I no longer had to worry about mold. What I didn't expect was how comfortable it would make my bed. My mattress was now lifted off the hardwood surface onto the FROLI spring system, and I say this converted my RV mattress into a 5-star like hotel bed. If you're interested in getting a better night's sleep too, I have a 15% discount code FROLI gave me that I can share with you. Plus, I did a complete FROLI installation video that you can watch. I'll leave all this information in the video description below. Another modification or upgrade that I felt was necessary to make was to the cabinet doors. Occasionally the doors would open when we were driving down the road, and of course this isn't good because things will fall out. So my husband Tom added additional door hinges to each door, and this has solved that problem. If you want to learn about the hinges that we used and how my husband installed these, I'll leave a link to a video that I did in the video description below. Another modification I made was to the front door stopper. See these white two pieces screwed to the RV? There's a white piece that connects them, and this is the door stopper that came with my 2018 Little Guy Max trailer. It never did the job it was meant to, and I lost the connecting piece, so I upgraded to a magnetic door stopper. This has made a world of difference, so if you want to learn more about this, I'll leave details in the video description below. There have been 4 things that I've had to replace in the past 3 years, and the first was a side window. Before installing the magnetic door stopper, the wind grabbed the door one day, crashing it into the front window and cracking it. Thank goodness the new door stopper now stops the door before it can hit the window. The second thing we replaced were the hinges on all the drawers. Just like the cabinet doors, the drawers sometimes opened while traveling down the road, and when this happened, it would bust the drawer hinges. So when we replaced them, we used sturdier hinges, and this has stopped them from opening anymore. Recently, we replaced the RV batteries that the Little Guy Max came with. They probably would have lasted longer, but due to human error, we had to replace them. If you want to learn what we did wrong and how to maintain your RV batteries so they last longer than ours did, I'll leave a link to a video that'll tell you everything you need to know in the video description below. Also, recently, we had to replace our water pump. Our water pump just stopped pumping water this summer, so we called Xtreme Outdoors, and they were really helpful. And we ordered the exact same one that was originally in the Little Guy Max, and they shipped it to us, and my husband installed it. So, is the Little Guy Max worth it, and would I buy it again? And the answer is yes. I never ever have wished that I had gotten anything different. It did cost me more than if I had bought maybe a different smaller trailer, but the quality and the attention to detail has been worth it for me. There's always going to be things that need to be maintained and repaired, but I think I've been really lucky with the minimal amount of upkeep and maintenance and repairs that I've had to do.